Welcome back to Sketching with Oldkan. I gotta keep those uhs out of here. Another episode. This is. I just did it again. Did it again. Episode 3. Episode 3, I think, of Sketching with Oldkan. I gotta stop that. Nothing's happened this week, right? Nothing at all. Before I get into some more stuff of what the video's about, I wanted to do a little bit of an announcement here first. So I just, I just started a locals account. So you can now find me on locals.com/oldcanart. Please join there because that's where I'm planning on. It's initial right now, so I just started looking at it, and I'm gonna build it. So there's not much there right now, but I'm thinking of kind of having my hub there of my business, and so yeah, go over there and join me there because I'm thinking about putting out the superhero comic Blackout on there as a kind of ongoing series of webcomic where I would make available as digital PDFs once it gets to a certain amount. I can sell as issues or like full graphic novel collections once it reaches a point. So you'll have a couple options. I'm thinking so I have 7 pages for the teaser, and that's going to be free. So you can come over there, look at it, and you can see if you're interested in supporting me there at Locals and contributing to my monthly thing where this would be kind of an ongoing series. I might make it like, I might make, at least for a while, might make some of the pages free. So like if you subscribe, you might get 3 pages in a week. And if you're just a free member, you might get 1. I don't know. I'm not really sure how Locals works and how that would work well within that, but that's kind of where I'm thinking. I was going to do it on Patreon, but I don't think anyone likes Patreon anymore for their political stances and taking down creators. Speaking of which, being taken down, some of you may know that I was taken down on Twitter. Not permanently yet, even though I know I had planned on leaving Twitter, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so that's kind of my goal. Hopefully, Locals works for that. If not, I'll keep you updated. But yeah, like if you support me there, you can get wallpapers of some of the drawings I do. I'm looking to do specific videos only for Locals, and see if I can grow an audience there and do all my shops. Do my shop like for my merch and stuff. Speaking of which, in this episode which I'm sketching, so this first part I'm sketching this character that came out with this concept that which we'll get to at a point, but I'm thinking the second sketch of this guy, because this was just kind of getting his form down, I might put on a shirt. So let's get into it because it's been a lackluster week. Nothing's really been happening. So I got booted off Twitter just as the stonks was taking off. The stonks. This was the episode's going to be called The Stonks. This is all about the stonks. If you don't know, or you're watching this sometime in the future and you don't know what's going on, you'll probably remember the big Reddit Wall Street trader stonk meme stock trading wars going on. I think it's fantastic. Of course, I get a 7-day suspension right as it's all blowing up, and I have no ability to interact with what's going on in probably the biggest red pilling moment in a long time. So we're looking at like Occupy 2.0, some sort of digital version that's in the real world. It's crazy. So I mean, let's get into it. I mean, like it's been insane. So I get suspended for a comment that I deleted because it was just a stupid throwaway comment. But I mean, it wasn't it wasn't directed at anyone. It was in reference, and it was a question. It was a question that had some naughty words in it, I guess, that the algorithm picked up and suspended me for 6 days. Uh, as you may have seen my previous video, that I was planning on leaving anyways, and I was just waiting for after the inauguration and what was going to happen, just to keep some influence there and discuss what's going on, and just see where things were going to go. And then, of course, as I get suspended, this stonk things blows up. And some of my you can follow me on Minds as well, minds.com/oldkan art. All my social media is Oldkan art. So Locals is a new one. It's where I'm hoping to build the hub of my art world. I'm still on Instagram/Oldkan art. I'm on Gab, Oldkan art, and I'm on Minds, Oldkan art. But Gab, it's still clunky and you can't use it, and it's not really the same as aspect of. You don't have the same crazy establishment influencers and politicians and companies and things that are making crazy attempts to still keep the veil on while they're pulling the veil and the mask off of what they're doing and showing the world what they really are. So you don't really have that interaction, so you're only kind of talking to the people that either know it or off in some other different world. So I mean, Minds is really good because I can just build up an art platform. Gab, I haven't really figured out yet, just because it's so clunky. I can't really interact with it very well, and I don't really have an idea what it is. Minds I'm really enjoying though, so if you're into art and kind of a more subdued focus on art, there's, like I mentioned, some politics stuff there, but it's a different vibe, and I kind of want to stick with the promotional. Here's my kind of promotional site. Minds would be the same thing, but not Minds. So the new site on Locals, I can kind of do whatever I want, because it'll be just my audience, which I think is pretty cool. So if you like interacting with me, then we can talk about, like, there'll be art there. I'll be selling my comic book, so it'll be an area for everything that I want to do, where I have to pick and choose where I be. Like, Twitter has become sort of my, try to red pill people and try to wake people up and try to go against wokeness and try to realize who's really holding all the people down that have grievances. And that's both left and right. It's the establishment, and it's both the neocon conservatives and it's the neoliberals that are in power and have been in power for the last 20, 30 years. And people are starting to see it finally, what we've been talking about. It's a uniparty, and they are looking to clamp down on everything and get control. And it's most likely because they can see how perilous their control is and how close the people are to rising up in a populist fashion, and being able to decentralize a whole bunch of things in power. And that's all that I ever want, is let's have some liberty back. Let's be allowed to do what we want to do. Have a business that we want to do. Hang out with who we want to hang out with. Just be free, and have government basically leave us alone for the most part. I think a decentralized. I think my backdrop is falling down. I think a decentralized decentralized government is the way to go. Worldwide decentralizations, liberty. We just want liberty, and I want people to stop buying into the lie of identity politics that was clearly brought in, and but I think people are starting to see, a lot more people starting to see, and I hope more and more people are starting to see with this stonks thing, of how in Occupy Wall Street you had this movement, and identity politics was purposely brought in to disrupt the people unifying against the establishment and taking what is rightfully ours, our freedom, our money, our right to have a free and open market, which this is showing that it is clearly not. I'm not going to get into all the details of it because anybody who's watching this should know, and if you don't know, it's everywhere. Go look it up. Go look up Reddit day trader stocks. It's brilliant. So what we're seeing is all the cathedral and the institutions all scrounging around to stop what's happening and to lock down, and I don't know what's going to happen. We're right in the middle of it, so and I haven't been able to interact on Twitter, so I'm here with you, just going like, this is so frustrating. The one time that I really want to be on Twitter right now, and I can't be on Twitter. Ironically, when I said I was leaving, because it's so great to. I'm seeing everybody talking about and pointing out all the things that I'd like to point out. So it's great, but just know if you're not seeing me there to support you, I'm there. I'm supporting you. I just can't hit the like button or retweet. So I'm allowed to view everything on Twitter, but I can't interact other than DMs. But oh boy, has it been exciting. So this video is going to be kind of an extension of what I'd be doing on Twitter. I don't ever plan and write things out, and maybe I should do that for these, because this series of sketching with Oldkan is meant to be more of me just talking about what's going on. And so I don't know if you've seen this guy in the sketch that I'm drawing here. So this is kind of a sort of caricature of the guy in the cow suit. So this one again, give him more Elton Johnny, like it blew his glasses up wider and his little bow tie up. It's absurd. So he was sitting here telling us how these Reddit stock traders were hurting day trader, or hurting hedge fund managers. Oh no, the rich. This is an attack on the rich. Oh my goodness, you gotta stop doing this. You don't know how risky it is. Blah blah blah. Like, it's funny to see their heads spin and be open about, you have to protect the rich. They don't know how to play this. Some of them are playing identity politics. Like AOC comes out with a tweet where I think I actually got to like it. I'm not sure if I did before I was removed. And then she comes back right away and plays identity politics, showing that she's just as big as a shill as everyone else in politics, section of a couple. Talib, I can't remember her first name. I don't agree with her much, but she's been actually coming out and saying the right stuff for this, so I can agree and I can applaud that. Even though I don't agree with anything else that she does, but she, the people who are being honest and not for the establishment, I'll take. We can work with someone that's not for the establishment. The establishment that's now ramping up arms in Syria and Iraq again within a couple of weeks of retaking power, and bombing more Syrians. Like, let's just bomb some more kids over in Syria. It's over there. We're the party of justice and equality and equity. This is equity that we're talking about. Racial equity. Bomb Syrians so that they have to come over to the Western world and be protected by us and our noble, equitable program of peace, where you can be protected by the government and be reliant on the government, and then vote for the people who make you reliant on them. It's all a big game to keep you, give you just enough to keep you addicted to the government allowing you to do stuff. It's only the government that should be allowing you to do things, right? It's only the government that should be doing this. It's the same thing with COVID, is the ramping up. So the whole COVID, everything, this is a big takeover. You've already seen the mass redistribution of wealth from the middle class to the elites. And then this stonk thing comes, and the people, the lowly serfs, use their game to redistribute some of that money back to the serfs. And the establishment won't have it because it goes against their plan. And their plan is to fortify more protection. Now, I don't know if this is because they're in direct they are in direct conflict with China because there seems to be like a lot of working with China. So it just has to be. I do think there's two superpower. A few Western societies are trying to get together and forming this super neo-fascist state, unist state of multinations to combat China's imperialism without being overtly aggressive towards it. But we've seen a few snipes from Pooh Bear lately that suggests that maybe they are. And I think I had thought that I do think China is behind a lot of the destabilization here, but I think both sides are kind of playing it for their own advantage. I think that's like the establishment is playing it for their own advantage because they want to destabilize everyone so that they're more reliant on the government and the state, and that's their plan. That's the Great Reset. You need to be more reliant on the state. And the state is helped run by the big tech oligarchs. And the big tech oligarchs are, once again, rallying around calling these day traders white supremacists, because everything's white supremacist now. So people hopefully are starting to see that it's not hate speech and it's not white supremacy that's doing everything. It's identity politics that they've claimed everything is white supremacy. And hopefully people will see that it's a ploy to get you to fight among the boogeyman of white supremacists hiding in your closet and under your bed. It's to get you to hate your neighbor. It's to hate political opponents. It's to hate everyone that's not you or not on board with the message that they have. Obviously, it should be obvious to everyone, co-opted with big corporations. Mind you, the big boys are all adopting your identity politics. And now they're acting in the same way of figuring out which way to attack this problem that's actually hurting them. And they throw out some identity politics things and it's not taking, and then they're throwing out some like they're going, well, we gotta have an investigation in this and the Congress and see how we can stop this. And I think one hedge fund company said that they weren't going to do short stocks anymore. It's been a delightful, amazing journey, and I can't interact with anyone on it. So in the sketching here, you see this. So this second one, where I did a little bit more of a expression. So it's the same character, but I did kind of a more expressive, cartoony version of it. And as you see, if you keep watching, it turned out really well, and I want it to be some merch. And when you see it, so as you watch and you listen to me, I'll come back and I'll repeat this again. But if you leave a comment, or you can't reach me on Twitter other than DM, but you can do it on Minds. If you're on Minds, comment on, on either on the video or on the Minds post that you see this in, or any of my posts. Comment on what the slogan should be. So I want to put words under this character name and put it on a t-shirt and other merch, because I don't know, I like the design, and it'll be my STONKS merch to celebrate the stonk revolution, the great stonk revolution. Just amazing, like a populist movement of peace. Really, it's very peaceful. Taking back the money that the big stock market, big wigs, hedge fund managers steal from the people and use it to keep everyone down. And I'm hoping that populist left and populist right realize that these identity politics are the thing that's getting in the way of joining up against the powers that be, the establishment, the neocons and neoliberals. The neocons have taken a big hit because of Trump. The neoliberals, they just got in, and they weren't, until Biden actually took over and did all these crazy executive orders and just started red pilling people and like, what's going on? Starting to see what normal is. War hawking, serious identity politics, critical race theory to suppressing free speech, using tech oligarchs in their super neo-fascist way of the state and corporations joining factions, but it's only the big ones, right? If you're a small one, you'll get crushed by the bigger ones, and they're in a power to do that. And this isn't a United States thing. United States was the last piece to get the neoliberal power in there so that they can coordinate, with the 5-6 nations in the West that they're doing this with, that were already set up. And they want to just crush free speech, crush your resolve, make you scared to say anything. That's one of the reasons why we saw someone get arrested for a meme. Like, you can sit there and say that this is not an authoritarian state, but you have to be pretty crazy not to think that it's an authoritarian state. You have those loony people who still think that there's Nazis hiding under their bed. Neo-Nazis everywhere. There's neo-Nazis everywhere. Your neighbor's a neo-Nazi. No. Well, I can't put this on YouTube now because I said the N-word. Not that N-word, the other N-word. But they're just not everywhere. They're not everywhere. Yeah, they exist. But the real fascists are in power, and the real fascists are their enablers online that go around calling everyone fascists because they think differently and because they don't agree with the identity politics that was put into the marketplace. Now, I know it was around in the schools and everything, but the establishment just pushed what was there in obscurity, and they just pushed it all on us. And you got a bunch of sheep and lemming that took it up and became activists and got empowered by it, and they got funded by the DNC, got funded by all this stuff, all these different places from the establishment, like corporations throwing it around and making it part of their business model. And you have to, it's merged with if you ever listen to these critical race theory things, it's just corporate speak. It's corporate speak around race and identity. And I hate corporate speak. And corporate speak is manufactured to control you. And that's the same thing with this. And if you can't see it, I hate to say it, you're kind of dumb at this point. And what's great about this stonks thing is that it's waking people up to the real power dynamic that is the problem. And the power dynamic is the rich elites that take all the money. And it's not just about taking the money. This isn't free market. The free market, I'm all for someone having a great idea and making tons of money. That's great. But you're not allowed to crush your opponents. You're not allowed to dominate the market. You're not allowed to use that power with government without any recourse. You cannot crush your competition. We need competition. We need an actual free market. We need real capitalism to solve this problem. And we need to get rid of monopolies. We need to get rid of neocons and neoliberals in power. We need to get these crony people out of politics and bring back liberty. Now, if I put this on YouTube, it's going to get taken down probably. But that's what hopefully they're seeing. The revolution of let's get back to a free and open and fair marketplace. I think that's what most people want, and I think most people agree with that, both left and right, with something more fair. Granted, because of the identity politics infusion, there's been a lot of increased division of how you get to that. But if we both agree that this is the problem over here, we can start working on the other things. I think. Let's get rid of the real problems of the mass amalgamation of power and wealth by the bigwigs. There's my rant. So you can see this figure here is turning out. So so think of a slogan. Like, I'm thinking like, your stonks are, something. It's gotta be quick and like simple, but gets the message of like kind of like stonks, or you plebs, or plebs can't. You're hurting you're hurting the big guy or something. Like, I just haven't thought of it yet. I'm just kind of mulling it over. So if you guys have any idea, so once I kind of get a slogan that works, I'll throw this up on my sites, and I'll somehow see if I can get someone to tweet it out for me, that I have that contacts that are still on there before I get back. So look for that in the next couple days, next week. Hopefully it'll still be somewhat timely next week. I don't think that this is going to stop, but I do think that the establishment's going to try to come down hard. It's already doing it. This whole Robin Hood fiasco of altering, like stopping the buying of stocks so that the hedge fund managers can buy back some of the stocks and lower the price, so they saves themselves a little bit of money, because they're getting kicked in the teeth, and it's glorious. So I don't know, I think they lost, I think that group that had the GME initially lost $7 billion, and I think, or $5 billion, can't remember. And then overall, Wall Street's lost $70 billion. It's delightful. Actually delightful. I think it's just incredible. So I'm mostly enjoying what, people getting money doing the same thing that these day traders or these hedge fund people do, and they're playing the game, and they're doing exactly, they're exposing what the game is. And there's a lot of red pills coming out. And what red pilling is, it's not becoming conservative. It's like the Matrix. So what we're seeing is people start going, oh, this isn't the real world. This isn't the real world. The real world's out there, and I'm being played. How much am I being played? How much is the other stuff that I've been told being played? And as you can see, once you take the red pill, all the cards start falling down. And if enough people do it, then the whole power structure just comes down peacefully, all on its own, because people won't believe it anymore. And what we're seeing is curtain and curtain and curtain and curtain and curtain being pulled down. And it's not going to stop. No matter how much they try and crack down, try to arrest people with their secret police, try to suppress speech, it's not going to stop. We aren't going to stop. So you can see, I did a little bit more work on the sketch here once I realized, I'm like, oh, I kind of really like this as like a t-shirt or something. But yeah, if you think of a cool, like 2 or 3 word slogan, I can kind of put the words sort of diagonally under them, and then, yeah, I'll figure it out. But let me know. Yeah, I will finish this off. This sketch would be, I promised. Sorry, I just gotta find the actual video while I watch of this. Yeah, so the big titty one is I did the initial design. I did the whole thing in about 9-10 minutes. So the first initial one. So this whole thing is just in 7 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna show this in real time, but I might. I don't know. So kind of what I do is I do these drawings. I do sketches on Friday, and then I record the video separately, so I'm watching it. But I kind of will speed it up the sketches if I run out of things to talk about. So yeah, I've been missing some of the interactions with this whole thing going on, because I think it sucks, because it's a really good time to keep red pilling people, really like drive it home what they're doing, what the reaction by the establishment, by the cathedral, you see, and point out, you see how what they're doing here is the same thing they're doing here, which means if they're lying here, they're most likely lying there, and even if they're not lying there, they're lying here, and they're lying here, or they're lying, is that you can't trust anything that they're saying. They cannot be a reliable source of your information as complete 100% fact. And if people say, "Well, I know the media lies to you, but they don't know to the extent that they lie to you. They really don't. The things that they leave out, the important parts, a lot of the times where that's where the lie comes from, because you're kind of not paying attention. They report on something that happened, but either they cut out the important parts if it's a video, or they leave out the important parts of context to imply something or to say something that supports what they want, which is usually division. All they want is division. You to be afraid, and you to hate the other guy. They want you distrusting your neighbor. They want you to rat them out, and they want you to hate them. You don't want to hate. They want you to hate your friends, your parents. They want you to distrust everybody and distrust everything that's not coming from the cathedral and from the establishment. That's the goal, because then they can control you. This is not a. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is literally what they're doing. That's the red pill. It's not some grand conspiracy to some cabal or whatever. It's just the people who are in power and who have the money want to keep the money in power. They don't want to relinquish it. And they see that with the internet and with the way things are going even before COVID, that they were seeing people being able to take power, and they do not want that. Like what Trump showed them is that someone that's not in that accepted elite class, because he was an elite as far as money and in that higher echelon of society, but he wasn't in the group. He wasn't in the neoliberal neocon group, and they don't want people outside that group getting power. And so this is a crackdown. They're like, we don't want to see this again. So it's been hard to not help point that out and do my usual shit posting, which I enjoy doing. So this is kind of my shit post sketch show. If they cancel me, if they take this down on YouTube, or if I don't put it on, I don't know, whatever. I'm on Locals now, and you can watch me there. And if I need to be free for a while, well, I always do some free stuff there, but the goal is to kind of make a business. So there'll be like a good blend of free stuff and then kind of premier content. And if I start getting like subscriptions and stuff, and then a lot of my ideas can come to fruition of things that I want to do, and I can expand. And what I would like to do is be able to print my own comics, whether it's like crowdfunding to do it or just being pre-orders or something. I'd like to do that because I want to get all my stuff off of Amazon, get off of big tech, and as much as possible, and kind of do my own printing. But right now, I'm not in that space, so I'm going to need some, need to build my business more so I can get some more support in order to do that. And I'm hoping you guys are liking my art. I think it's coming along nicely, and I hope you're going to like the superhero comic. And then, of course, I'll be finishing up the Prelude to Peril comic, which is the lead up to my graphic novel that's out already. And if you are interested in that, just message me. You can email me. I'll try to put up a link in here. You can email me at oldkanart@gmail.com. If you want to get a PDF copy, we can just go through a direct link where I can send you the copy, and it'd be like $6 for the digital copy for the graphic novel. It's 152 pages, so it's definitely at least worth $6. But at least if it's directly, then I get all the money and I don't have to share it. So I think I did $6. I think that's still more than. It's more. I think it ends up being more than the amount I get from the physical copy on Amazon, which is like $28 or something I have right now. I end up getting $6 of it. So that's kind of why I want to go through that. Yeah, if I end up printing it, obviously I'll have printing costs, but Amazon still takes 30% or more from the printing costs, because I'm sure they just tack on that printing to something else. So yeah, I want to do that. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a wild ride. I'm excited to see where the stonk thing goes from here, and I'm interested to see how much more the establishment is going to show that the world that it has no clothes, that the emperor has no clothes, and reveal to people that the game. And I told you, adding accelerate was the right move because they're overconfident. When they're overconfident, they don't see this kind of thing coming, and they have no plan to react to it. The only way that they react is kind of scatterbrained and fearful, and you're seeing it. The Capitol Hill thing was, tragic and terrible because it was stupid, and I don't think violence is the right answer, because I think there's a better, more peaceful way to do this, and it's a very simple, easy way to do it. And what the Reddit army is showing you is that this is a better way of doing it. But the reaction to the Capitol Hill, you saw like super fascistic, armed 35,000 armed troops around there. Now there's walls around the Capitol Hill, and there's armed troops aren't leaving. This police state crackdown, labeling everybody a domestic terrorist. And get Canada involved in calling groups domestic terrorists and white supremacists. So it's, again, to be scared of there's so many white supremacists around, you don't know where they're looking. It's best that you just hide inside. You don't want to get the virus. With the virus, you better wear 6 masks, and you better stay under your desk, and you better not ever leave, because not only are there white supremacists everywhere, you'll kill grandma as well. You don't want to kill grandma, do you? Then just be a good boy and girl, and you stay under your desk. Don't say anything, because they're all over the place. Don't worry, we're the government. We'll protect you. We'll take care of them. We'll let you know when it's okay to come out. Okay. All right. I don't want to ramble too much, but this is a bit more uncensored. It's just pent up energy to get out that I couldn't get out on Twitter. But I hope you guys all missed me terribly. I'll see you on Twitter in 6 days or something. I might not come back. I don't know. If this is all over in 6 days, this is the only thing I kind of wanted to get in. I was like, yeah, this is this is finally something positive in the kind of culture war battle. Real, the 99% coming together. This is what we've been trying to wake people up to, and I don't get to be a part of it. Sad. So hopefully it's not over, and I'll get to come in. If not, I'll make more videos. And if not, please join me over at Minds. It's probably the one I'm most active at right now, if you just want my social media presence. But check out my locals, because it's brand new. There's not a lot on there right now, but if you follow me, I'm going to be building it. Be building it up. So I'm just looking at it right now. I'm looking through kind of what are the best options. And if I start doing it, give me feedback or what you like, what you want to see. You like these big titted girls, I'll draw more big titted girls for you. Only on locals. But yeah, I do a whole bunch more stuff. So what's been holding me back a lot is this like getting canceled thing. So you go to places that you want to see a more unfiltered. So I'm trying to like wake that old person up and being more unfiltered. So this video is kind of the first one that's a bit more unfiltered, because I don't care about the big tech platforms anymore. I don't want to be on them. I would love for them to stop being evil and stop suppressing speech and stop being a-holes, but they're not. I don't see it happening. And so I'm going to try and bring you guys all over to my areas, and hopefully you like it. Anyways, yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I will see you guys later. Peace.